Hello, I'm Craig, and this is Ray. We are the co-founders of ThirdFloorWars.com and avid Malifaux players. We are excited to announce the U.S. Faux Tour and U.S. Masters Tournament. The U.S. Faux Tour is a system that tracks player participation and performance in 50 Soulstone Gaining Grounds Malifaux tournaments throughout the United States. It breaks down performance into seasons and allows players to qualify for a season-end invitational U.S. Masters Tournament. The goal of the USFT is to grow the player base. We want to encourage more people to play this great game. Grow the tournament scene. We want to encourage more Malifaux tournaments throughout the country. And increase the cross-meta play. We want to encourage everyone to travel outside their meta and play in more tournaments. So how does it work? Each season aligns with the wave release schedule for Malifaux. Seasons start every September and they end in June. Every season culminates in a U.S. Masters Invitational held in July. Each season we break down the country into up to 10 different conferences. The conferences are regional and defined by state, player base, and tournament activity. For example, there is a Carolinas conference that includes players and tournaments that happen in North and South Carolina. During a season, conferences hold tournaments. Players in the conference are given scores based on the results in the tournaments held in their conference. The more conference tournaments they play in, and the better they finish in those tournaments, the more conference points they accrue throughout the season. At the end of the season in June, the conference players are ranked against each other based on the conference events from September through June. In July, there's a 30-player invitational U.S. Masters Tournament. 22 to 23 of the spots are held for the top players in each of the conferences. The conferences are awarded slots based on the number of events they held and the amount of unique conference players that attended those events. The more players and tournaments in a conference, the more spots they have in Masters. 7 to 8 of the Masters slots are reserved for wildcard players. These spots are given to the players in the country with the highest combined conference and out-of-conference scores that didn't already qualify for a spot in their own conference. How does a player get out-of-conference points? When a player travels and plays in an event that is outside of their conference, they won't get conference points for that event. Instead, they get out-of-conference points. Out-of-conference tournament results are scored higher, and when combined with players in conference points, rank the players nationally. The players with the highest combined scores that didn't qualify for Masters in their conference can qualify for one of the 7 or 8 wildcard spots. This encourages people to travel outside their meta and play in events outside of their conference. It also allows people to score in the bigger tournaments like Nova, even if they don't live in that conference. It allows players that don't live in a conference to potentially qualify for Masters. All of this tracking of conference and out-of-conference play leads us to the U.S. Masters Tournament. We hope that this will showcase 30 of the best and most active players in the country. It will be a 2-day, 5-round Gaining Grounds tournament held in July. We will also host a season finale 2-day tournament in the same location on the same days. This lets people make travel plans even if they're not sure if they're going to qualify for a spot in the Masters Invitational. It is our hope that the USFT and US Masters Tournament encourages your local scene to host and attend more tournaments. If you're a tournament organizer, please email us the results of your 50 Soulstone Gaining Ground events. Include the final rankings, number of rounds, and a note if any of the players don't live in the conference where the event was hosted. Are you ready for your area to have a fun way to track tournament participation and results? Are you ready to compete for a chance to show off your Malifaux skills at the US Masters Tournament? The season starts in September, so get those crews built, painted, and on the table. More details on scoring and how conferences qualify for slots in the Masters can be found at www.thirdfloorwars.com, and questions can be sent to admin@thirdfloorwars.com.